Today we're going to introduce you to two Hunterworks tools for the Kawasaki Ridge. One's been around a while, that is what we call a torque tool or holding tool, and the brand spanking new Hunterworks primary clutch puller, made in America, heat treated, black oxide coated, same size head. That is the bolt, which is 22 millimeter. I'd like to say you do not have to have a lift, you do not have to take the tire off, but you do need to take the inner fender well out and the clutch cover off. Very easy to do. I always use a pair of little wire cutters or dikes, whatever you want to call them, to pull the push pins out. And then you take your bolts out of your cover and it just falls off. Nothing's really in the way. I jokingly say that if you couldn't do this, you might not want to get into this. All right, so that's why we don't show it most of the time. All right, so let's move on. And also, if you're really paying close attention, you'll see that my primary is missing two bolts right here, and that'll come into play shortly. All right, before I take this off, I want to tell you, there's probably not another YouTube video for this, or at least I didn't find one, and I found out why. This primary is torqued from the factory at 186 foot-pounds. I have no clue why, and it was hard to get off with the puller. We had to use a 1,500 foot-pound impact wrench and a 2-pound sledgehammer, because once you get it under pressure, under a load really tight, and you knock the crap out of it. Sometimes it's one or two, and for our case, we had to pull it out, put it in, hit it 2 or 3 times. So I don't want you to be naive to think that it's always gonna be easy to get off, as I'm fixing to show you here, because mine's been off before. All right, so we pull our 22 millimeter bolt out. You screw in by hand your Hunterworks clutch puller to get it started. Make sure it's in the threads. Take your impact. You can certainly use a ratchet. You'd have to hold on to it. I prefer an impact. Needs to be a good one. All right. Again, this one popped off easy because it's been off before. Take your puller out. Now, you'll see my belt is off. Makes it much easier to get the primary clutch off when the belt is off because it's in the way. We have another video showing you how to take the belt off using our little belt change bolt here. But once it's popped off, you simply take your clutch off, doing whatever you're doing to it, maintenance, replacing it, whatever it might be. Now let's go back. All right, put it back on. At this point, before you get it on there, this is a good time to take this torque tool. And I found that there's a little spot up in the frame you're not going to be able to see in the camera right near a gas line, but we place this in these two holes, these little pins, and you get the tool square. You don't want it at an angle. That's square, and way up in here where you can't see, it's resting on the bottom of the cab frame up here, and that keeps the clutch from turning when we torque it here in a few minutes. All right, take your bolt. Get it by hand once again. All right, now I'm going to use the impact to get it to go down in there. All right, then we're going to use a torque wrench. Now, this is a Toddism. I'm personally not torquing this to 186 pounds. Our own primary on a Polaris razor, we only torque it to 60. Razors are 96, some turbos are like 120, CF Moto's 52. I see no reason to do 186 foot-pounds of torque on this bolt. That's why it's so hard to get off. However, my liability answer is you do what the service manual tells you and do it to 186 pounds. Me personally, I'm gonna do it to roughly 100 pounds, and I still think that's too much. I think Kawasaki is going off bolt sizes and not what the application is, and that's just an opinion, okay? So the clutch holder keeps it from turning, and then you put your torque wrench on it and tighten it. All right, it broke at 100, which was still tough. Take your torque wrench off, pull your clutch holder off. Now just simply put your screws back in. They're 12 millimeter. I will give you some excellent advice. There is a torque spec on these. You can put some blue Loctite on them if you want. Do not torque them. I could not tell you how many times in 22 years people has torqued these, either read inch-pounds for foot-pounds, vice versa, and broke them. I've never ever had any come out. Just a quick, and now your primary clutch is back on. So you got any questions? Of course, we'll put our belt back on. You'll see that in how to change the belt video, but we'll put it back on, put our cover on. You put your fender liner back in, you're good to go. Got any tech questions? Todd at Hunterworks.com. Make sure you subscribe and like so you see all the things we're working with on the ridge here. Appreciate you guys very much.